also going to click go live on Instagram in a second.
Go live.
Go live.
Good morning, everyone. It's the 19th of December, 2025, and we are live. Let's go live on Instagram. Please tell us where you're watching from. Put it in the box. I'm in Central Florida. Dr. Kiltz is up in New York, and we have Melissa B here, who is down under, and Alia Adelaide, and Alia always in an undisclosed location.
Yes, top secret CIA or all those areas.
So we're going to be talking a little bit with Melissa. Please put your questions in the chat box. Today is an anniversary for me. 41 years ago, graduated from medical school.
Wow.
Yeah. You're way older than I am.
41 years ago. Yes, if you say so.
Yeah. I'm 40 years ago.
Wow. So Dr. Nelson's ancient because he's 41. But me and Melissa are like 42, so I don't understand this math.
Are we the same age, Alia? 42.
I think so. I think we're both. Yeah, I think both 42.
Good memory. Good memory.
We're here to share the story around the globe, and we have Melissa Bay here today talking about her life adventure and how she managed to slip and fall into this crazy carnivore lifestyle.
Yes.
Melissa, why'd you take it from that start? How about that? You're here to share.
Well, I didn't quite fall into it. I had no other choice at the time when I was needing to go carnivore, because I was training for a bodybuilding competition, a bikini bodybuilding competition. And I got sick about 6 weeks out. I was doing more of a keto preparation for the competition. And before that, I had done paleo, because of some health issues. And then can you hear me okay, Alia? Is the volume, all good?
Yes, we can hear you.
Making some faces, I'm just making sure. And so, I had learned a lot about what and how we eat impacts how we feel and our health. So I'd already understood that. And I did paleo, and then I had kids, and I went through a divorce, and ended up finding a coach who then put me onto keto, and I had amazing results with that. And from keto, I was training for this bikini competition, get sick, and lose about 3 weeks of my comp prep. And from there, I literally had nothing. I had to do as much as I could to, prepare to be on stage. And so, my coach said, you should try carnivore for the last 4 weeks, which is what I did. Helped me look incredible on the stage and did what it had to do for me aesthetically. But where the biggest impact for me was the experience in terms of how I felt. So yes, it made me look amazing, and it does make you look amazing, usually very vibrant, lean, healthy, helps, I built some amazing muscle. But how I felt was the key point for me, and I'd never felt better. And from there, I just decided to keep going.
And so what exploded your desire to share it with the world and unpack it and unfold it through your experiences?
Yes. So in the past, when I'd had my kind of initial health crash, I was 26 years old. And I remember coming out of that and saying, I was looking for information that others may be looking for too. And I love running events. I love community. I love bringing people together. And so I just I started running retreats and wellness days and live events and film screenings, keynote speakers. And I think, about a year or so after I went carnivore, I was seeing what was happening over in the US. And I think it's just such a surreal experience for me to be so connected with you all, because initially my vision was, like I saw KetoCon, which I think is now Hack Your Health, and I saw those events happening in the States, and I thought, there's nothing really happening in Australia. Maybe I can invite some people to come together and we can have an event here in Australia, which is exactly what I did last year in November. I asked Dr. Chafee, Professor Bart Kay, Kerry Mann and Adam were here, Bella, Max were here, and a whole heap of local Aussie carnivore leaders as well. And we had a full house, like 350 people. I just didn't even know if there were any carnivores in Australia. Well, it seems like there actually are thousands of carnivores in Australia. And so I had that event last year sold out. We had Melbourne, where Dr. Kiltz attended in April, another, 250 people. And next year I've released the date. Not the guest speakers though, but we can say that Dr. Kiltz will be there. But September 12 next year in my home city, Adelaide, we will be hosting the biggest carnivore live in Australia yet. The guest speaker lineup is incredible. It will be just so empowering. I know from who's coming what that day will be like. That whole, experience for people will be just, priceless, really. So, yeah, I'm really excited about that. Really excited. And by the way, to answer your question, I don't think I should have an experience like this and not share it with others. And so my passion and my purpose work lies in having an experience and sharing it with other people. Why would I have this experience and keep it to myself?
You went through divorce and struggles and challenges and hardship, which all of us seem to go through these hardships, challenges, and struggles. And it feels as if, and when I use the word slip and fall into them, because it starts with one thing that leads to another. And that's kind of how I look at the slip and fall. And then when suddenly these things show up in our lives, and I mean, carnivore is just so crazy. And can you maybe talk about how this crazy has been so amazing? And are we meant to only eat meat always? Or is there room for incorporating other things? And is maybe the fact that we don't eat fat the single biggest problem?
I'm missing a little bit of that question. Are you guys hearing, or are you hearing also like me?
I can hear you.
Are you guys hearing me clearly? Because I've had a lot of challenges. Like somehow lightning struck yesterday, and like all my devices, I had 3 computers here to get on here, and can you guys hear me? Okay.
I can.
I'm getting a little lag. Okay,
it's
because I'm so far away.
And in the future,
can people in the keto world, by adding fatty meat, minimizing the plants, eating less frequently, get similar benefits as a start?
Yeah, let me share so when I started my health journey, when I was 26 years old, I was diagnosed with tinnitus or tinnitus, however you want to say it. And back then I was eating standard American Australian diet, which was terrible, really terrible. I had no concept, I had no understanding of how what I was eating and drinking was and how it was impacting my health. And I had all these unrelated health issues. And at its worst, my ear starts ringing randomly in the middle of the day. I get vertigo and I'm diagnosed with a ringing in the ear. They say, will never go away. Here's a script for, 100 repeats of blood thinners and steroid nasal sprays. And you have to have this for the rest of your life, right? So at that point, my first step was removing all of those, processed foods, sugars, anything artificial. I also removed, wheat. At that time, I also did dairy, because paleo didn't really have much dairy, I don't think. So I had amazing results doing that kind of diet because I eliminated all the things that were really causing my inflammation and for my, my gut issues, my skin issues, so I think, I think you can definitely do something like paleo or keto, because I had amazing results on keto. And yes, I was like a high protein keto girl, and that was working totally fine. I felt great. I felt amazing. My body was responding well. My health was responding well. Everything was totally fine. And yeah, of course, anyone can choose to live like that. It's up to you what you want to do. But for me, when I go to carnivore, it just takes things to the next level. The way I feel, the way I look, the way my stomach feels, like my energy, my vision, just it's a whole nother level. And I don't think there's a right or wrong for anyone. It's just what works best for them. And I've had the privilege, but I started on this journey because of a health issue. So I'm very grateful for that. But everyone can try it and see how it works for them. It might not work for them, but in most cases it does. So yeah, I truly just give everybody the power to make their own choice and have their own experiences.
Do you think that the mindset and part of coming to these events like yours around the globe in person has a powerful mental clarity of these concepts, and it begins to build the mind? Because many of us fail because of our mindset that says we can't, or it's not right or hard. And so it's critical to join the communities and come to these events, especially if you're uncertain.
Yeah, what I've noticed, and through my just so many conversations with people, is that firstly, they usually don't know where to start. They're really unsure where to start. And once they either do start or they think about it, they want to be around people who are doing the same. So for me, community is one of the most important parts of this journey. To be around other people who are doing what you're doing, who understand why you're doing it and are doing the same, is just so powerful for people, because often people feel very alone and isolated and misunderstood. It doesn't matter how vibrant, lean, healthy, happy, grateful, it doesn't matter about all those things. When people hear I eat only meat, some people just still don't get it, and they still don't think it's right. And that's up to them to choose how to feel and what to think. But when you're around people who are doing the same thing as you and totally understand the concept and are having their own experience, there's nothing more powerful than that. And I've often said, when I came to Meat Stock and I was around everybody over there, it just felt like home. It felt like being here at one of my events, because everybody feels the same, has the same energy, very caring and kind, and just the community holds each other. And that's what my events are about. And I'm also about to build my own online community as well. That's going to launch early next year. So that's what people are seeking, I think.
How long altogether have you been carnivore?
I think I started 2022, and I probably did more, mostly carnivore into ketovore for the next year or two. So I would say, I don't know, past 3 years. And by the way, it's not to say that I don't sometimes have a little bit of salad if I'm out, or if my mum wants to feed me cucumber, it's a really Greek thing to do. But it's not something I choose to do. And most of 99% of my food is usually red meat and tallow.
And how has that change your capacity to handle stress and energy levels?
Well, I definitely feel that energy levels is one of the most common positive side effects of this lifestyle is having increased energy levels. I'm not sure if we can give a blanket statement to handling stress. Eating carnivore lifestyle equals handling stress better, because I'll be honest, and we want to approach health, I think, holistically, and I think that stress can come from a number of different places. Yeah, and it's not just going to make you stress less. There's a lot of contributing factors to that, I think.
Stress is critical and important for all life forms. No stress, no life. And if you add Christ to the carnivore lifestyle, amazing. And then motion and fitness. But only dead people have no stress and problems.
No, it's a human experience, right?
Yeah, it's art, it's life, it's messy. The universe created a big bang of mess, and it keeps on making more messes. But that's the beauty of life.
I agree with you. I will be honest in saying, because I'm always very honest and authentic when I speak. I speak my truth. This year has been one of the biggest, most challenging years to manage nervous system and stress levels. And it had nothing, like my diet couldn't help that. My circumstances did, my experiences, but also it highlighted what I needed to work on. And I think
Could you say that last part again?
Carnivore can really support that journey. I can't even remember what I said because I was speaking from such depth.
Do you have any spiritual practices or meditative practices that you've included in your life?
Yeah, so my morning routine looks like waking up and I open all of the windows, all of the curtains, the front door, and I put some incense on, and I'll just kind of refresh the energy of the home. I'll then I know some people don't agree with meditation in bed, but I do get back into bed and I do a bit of a meditation practice. Doesn't put me back to sleep, so that's okay. I know I should be sitting in my chair. I know, but I just it works well for me.
Well, I say you can meditate anywhere. Why, look at when someone says you shouldn't do this, but it's sort of like we can do we're always meditating anyway. Meditation is thought.
That's right.
Every thought you think leads to the life you live. And so if you could simply bed. I always start in bed and end in bed. And again, it's a great place because meditation dreams, you can control and direct your dreams through your meditation and your prayers.
Yeah, absolutely. And I do spend a lot of time in the morning just on the meditation. I do a bit of like an energy balance, and then I do a lot of gratitude, and after that I do journaling as well. So yeah. Then I have a cold shower, and then I usually eat my steak.
Tell us about your fitness.
Do you know what we should? Oh, I was just about to say, on the cold shower, we should tell Scott at the meat stock at the speaker's cabin. We should arrange an ice bath, cold plunges.
We can do that. As long as you offer me, if you offer me a hot tub and a cold plunge. That's what I love to do. I do them both because I love the the opposites, the yin and the yang, because that's part of what we need in life. We need this opposites in order to strengthen us. Because, you know, it's sort of like it's always good or always bad. Those are both, you know, you got to put them both in because that's part of life. When someone, you know, again, why complain about your problems? Because complaining doesn't fix them. But talking about them does, in a way that you think of them as a gift.
Yeah.
The pieces of the puzzle. Are there questions coming up, Dr. Nelson? Yeah.
I think we have a couple on some comments.
You want to go ahead and throwing some of those in?
Let's see.
So I can't see the questions.
This mine is asking, what kind of doctors are these? Or is this nutrition? You want to answer that question, Dr. Kiltz?
Well, let's see. I'm an OBGYN and a reproductive endocrinologist. Dr. Nelson is a family practice physician, and we're
a metabolic health practitioner.
And a metabolic health practitioner. We're all life practitioners, and Melissa's a life practitioner. Ollie's a life practitioner, and I maybe Melissa, you can answer this. Did your standard doctors give you advice how to truly heal your life?
Melissa?
No.
No. And so
they did not.
And so does a degree or label for any of us matter? Melissa?
I think no, I don't think so.
No, you know, it's
I think experience speaks for itself. So does results. Yeah.
Yeah, and nowadays on these little devices, wherever you are in the world, you have all the knowledge of the world. You can learn everything from being a doctor, a lawyer, a mechanic, or an iguana hunter. and with social media, you know, we're here to share ideas. You know, one of the things I've learned, some of us are quick to condemn, and some of us are listening and learning from everything that God has created. Because I've learned from things I didn't believe about. And, you know, we feel the energy that pushes us away, but that's the time to stand still and look in, because what Melissa's doing, what Dr. Nelson's doing, what Ollie is doing, and what everyone here are doing are changing people's lives with no drugs, right? No dissections, and no authoritative doctors. The system is hurting us, and I am in the system. I'm here to help the system change, or at least it's kind of looking at life as yin and yang, at Eastern and Western concepts and ideas. And how can we do that more? We appreciate everyone stopping in and going to drkiltz.com, where, you know, we have Melissa there and Dr. Nelson there and Alia there, and links to everyone that we've learned from. Who are your initial sort of teachers out there that you really sort of focused on in order to gain your knowledge and then begin to dig in with your experience?
Yeah. I can honestly thank my friend and coach, Anthony Fayez from the Lean 7. He honestly was the biggest influence on me throughout my initial journey into keto. And it was him who would make me sit and watch videos of yourself and Dr. Chafee and Dr. Baker and Bart Kay. We would watch a lot of Bart Kay. And I was the type of person that needed to be told something. Like I can't sit and watch those videos for very long. It kind of comes in and out. Anthony has a really great way of kind of telling you what's going on in a really easy to understand way. So he was the coach that said to me, you should try carnivore for the last 4 weeks. And then from there, I spent, a lot of time listening to, the doctors and Professor Bart Kay, and just learning and hearing people's stories. The stories are what really got me, all the different stories.
Is the science the critical part of this, or is it the practice of participation? I kind of look at this as a spiritual journey, because there's so much positivity in these groups and connections. There isn't the show me the paper, prove it to me. It's like isn't this enough?
I agree. Yeah, I agree. My experience alone was enough to be convinced of what this can do for me and for others. But I've heard so many stories now that you just can't make this up. It's like when you go and book a hotel and you're looking for the best hotel to stay in, and I go and look at all the reviews. I want to hear people's opinions. I want to hear their experiences. Now, these stories, and I often, when we have meetups, I've had a meetup just recently, and I've got someone I'll connect with you. You need to have him on. He has the most incredible story to share. And you just can't make these stories up. They are so powerful when you hear them. But hey, when you hear 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10,000, that's the power, I think.
Are we simply poisoned by a plant propaganda path?
I don't know.
Eat your fruits and vegetables, salad, cereal, and fiber. Is that maybe the thing that poisons us?
I think the artificial ingredients, sweeteners, sugar, carbs are I think from my own experience, I was doing keto and I was doing really well, feeling amazing. So it's hard. All the carnivores would say, yes, the plants are causing a big problem, and they are. However, I think when you've got people like Sally Norton sharing important information about oxalates, you have to be decisive. You have to make your own decisions on what you have. Yeah, I know.
But yet, there is a truth to plants or live organisms. No organism wants to die, right? I mean, would you purposely really eat bacteria, yeast, and viruses thinking they're good for you?
I think no. If they knew better, they would do better. So I think most people just don't know what they don't know. Yeah.
And so, what's your purpose?
Oh, we're going straight to my purpose from the plant conversation.
Well, you said people said they just don't know what they don't know.
So yeah, I'll tell you what my purpose is. Yeah.
Your purpose is to help them know what they don't know.
Yeah, it is 100%. And like I said before, this experience is not reserved just for me. So it's important, and it is my purpose to share the information that significantly helped change my life with others. And that's why I run my events. That's why I'm creating community, because I feel everyone deserves to live like this, and most people aren't. Most people aren't living like this. They don't know how much better it could be.
And so, do you think that if we eliminate the processed foods and eat mostly fatty meat, and again, I'm saying this again, and minimize the plants, but if you eat them, cook them well to minimize the toxins, simplify the sugars, and eat less frequently, and have faith in God within all of us, is that a simple? And then connect on Melissa's lives and Kiltz and Nelson's lives and all of our stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. No, I agree. Community is everything. By the way, I think that makes this experience even more powerful when you bring people together. We had a meetup recently in a beautiful winery in the Adelaide Hills, and we didn't drink wine at the winery. They did a carnivore lunch for us. And we, by the end of the afternoon, we all took our shoes off and we sat on the grass and we shared information and stories, and just like we left there with our hearts full and really nourished from the connection. And I think that is just as important as the food we were eating on the table, you know?
Life is through we are herd animals in our nature to connect with others and find common beliefs and connections. But ultimately, we want to hear a story. We want someone to tell us a story. Who's your favorite
in the stories? I was going to say, in the stories, I think people, the storytelling helps others to like connect that story with their own experience. That's why the stories are important.
We see a commonality in all of us, no matter who you are in this world. The documented stories. Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. You just said who's the best storyteller?
Who's your favorite storyteller in this world? Do you have one?
Great question.
Any books or movies or inspiring stories? I always go to the Paulo Coelho, The Alchemist, or
oh, you said that to me. I remember.
Viktor Frankl, The Man's Search for Meaning, and always love Jesus Christ's words and Christ-based teachings and others. But it's inspirational stories that motivate us, because there's a hero within all of us. It is there. Nobody is any different in this world. Doesn't matter your money, your fame, your size, anything. All the same.
Yeah. I agree. I just like to read anything that's inspiring and it inspires and empowers me to be better. I have from a really young age always been seeking knowledge and the sharing of stories, and a bit of a sponge when it comes to that kind of thing. And I like to learn and then apply it, and learn and apply it. And so, when I get recommendations for books to read, or these days I love to just listen to a podcast while I'm driving, maybe in the hills. And I can't do books so much anymore, hard copies, because I often fall asleep when I'm reading.
Well, then you got a little bit in, and then it's a good way to fall asleep. And so, I think I have both hard books, audible books, all sorts of, and telling stories are so critical and important in our life. But absolutely. I have the same. I don't know if I called it a problem, but it's sort of like I read a page. Oh, it's perfect. The next day I read a page. By the end of the year, I finish the book. Or in some days. What's this comment here, Dr. Nelson?
Which comment is that?
The one with I was talking to a friend yesterday who said that you must have carbs for brain health. He said that the sheath covering of the brain is made out of carbohydrates. Thoughts?
Well, it
It is.
I know Dr. Kiltz is going to talk about the glycocalyx. The person probably was talking about the layers, either the layers that cover the brain or that cover the nerves, and they're mainly made of fat, actually. And then we have something that covers every tissue, which is the glycocalyx. So,
well, the sugars are critical, and they are the building blocks. And actually, protein is a minor player in that. It's the sugars. No sugar, no links, no membranes, nothing. And that's the kind of interesting part, is the glycocalyx is that.
But if she was talking about the myelin that covers the nerves, it's a fat layer.
The myelin sheath is a glycocalyx rich layer, that because electricity is sent through sugar, because it's the most energetic particle. And so I'm just going from what I've been learning. I've got a new paper I'm putting out. I'm not done with it yet, but ultimately the glycocalyx is why life exists. Structure requires sugar, and we think protein is it's kind of the frame.
You're breaking up, Dr. Kiltz.
Aw.
I'm frozen now. Okay.
Is he still frozen?
That was a good way. What did you do, Dr. Nelson?
You were frozen. We didn't hear the last part.
Just do to me. And if you read books like The Sugar Code or putting glyco, that is that is so masterful. I don't know what's wrong with my thing.
We were talking about meditation a moment ago, and the Psalms 19:14 says, "May these words of my mouth and this meditation of my heart be pleasing in your sight, Lord, my rock and my redeemer." Many verses in the Bible talk about meditation.
It's the best medication to take every day is meditation.
Yeah, getting still, being with yourself.
Chuck is asking, some people want to measure or check ketosis. Do you? Do you think it's important to measure, or can you sense when you are in ketosis without checking? That's for Melissa.
I've never, ever checked in my whole experience. Never. So I can say I don't think it's super important because it hasn't impacted me either way. So yeah, that's my experience. I know a lot of people do.
It seems to have to be more crucial on people who are trying to deal with certain problems, particularly central nervous system problems, like epilepsy, for example, any brain-related issues, cancer as well. So some people like to keep track, especially if they're trying to reverse those problems.
Dr. Kiltz is back.
Well, let's see. So testing is never required. It might be a little entertainment for us, but it's just play, and it's not required. Do the work. The outcome will happen.
Good.
Faith is always first.
Val Perry, 89. I was talking to a friend yesterday. Oh, we talked about that one already. Done.
Yes.
It's done. Next question. Myth 9788. What advice would you give to a patient who has a lung nodule and norm cystic anemia?
Normal cystic anemia.
All right. Well, Dr. Nelson.
Well, let's go with Melissa first.
I was going to say the same thing. What do you think, Melissa?
I have no comment on that.
Well, eat fatty meat and eat organ meats. I think they're great. And it sounds to me, I mean, tumors are caused by sugars, even though sugar is important for structure and communication, not energy.
Can I ask, because a lot of there's been a lot of discussion recently in amongst the community I've been in, and they're talking a lot more about mitochondria health, our circadian rhythm, red light therapy, like grounding. For something like this, I wonder, is food the only answer, or I believe, again, holistic approach. So yes, we change our food, we work on mindset, and we move, but then there are other modalities that can help us even further.
I think meditation, prayer, get out in nature is simple, and eating a fatty meat less frequently, get the majority of the plants out of your life, because they turn out to be the fermenters, and they contain the toxins. But I think when we talk about mitochondrial health, we're forgetting about all the other nanomotors and the post-translational modification in the DNA damage that I think is more than mitochondrial damage, because our problem is not making ATP. Our problem is toxicity to the mechanisms. Like our car has plenty of gasoline in it, but it's breaking down. And so I don't think ATP and the mitochondria are a problem. I think it's related to post-translational modification damage and other nanomotor damage that's caused by foreign sugars, glycans, and fermentation. But yeah, I think getting out in sunlight and cold and hot therapy and connecting with these groups, community is still like the biggest, most important thing, because that's where we share and learn and find love of life.
Absolutely.
I just measure my mindset in the day, and I check it. But measuring really, the truth is that you've got to, don't judge, love, and keep doing the work. But Melissa, it takes daily work in all of this.
Absolutely, I agree with you. And when I make sure I wake up about an hour and a half before I have to actually get up, to make sure that I start my day like this, because I know the difference when I don't. I just can't start my day any other way. And it does take work, and in the end, it doesn't feel like work, because it's just part of your lifestyle. It's part of your routine, and you can't live without it.
So what is the routine that you go through in the morning?
Meditate. I open all the windows. I let fresh air in. I put on some incense. I meditate. I journal. Gratitude. Bit of a gratitude practice. Then I have a cold shower, and then I eat my steak. I also listen to something positive first thing in the morning. So yeah, movement. Yes. Yeah. I lift weights, build muscle. Yeah.
And you don't need weights. You could use your body, push-ups, pull-ups, sit-ups, get-ups, roll around in the grass, go to the monkey bars and play there, because as we're getting closer to heaven, we got to keep moving.
Yeah.
Movement, so important.
And coming on live and sharing your stories it can be a little sort of daunting, and so many of us are afraid to tell our stories and share our failures, and all those sort of things in our lives. And but I think we're here to share.
Oh, absolutely.
Yes.
I was at a dinner the other night, and somebody mentioned that I was carnivore to somebody else, and and they just, oh yeah, I've heard about these carnivores. They're a little bit, and I said, a little bit what? And I think what happens is we're a little bit, we're really high vibration. We're very, very energetic. We love deeply. And we're very happy, fun, we're a happy, fun, passionate group of people,
Passion is what life is all about. And it's artwork, it's connecting work, it's community work to help those suffering. That's what this is about. And I suffered, and I know how I healed through incorporating these ideas of a carnivore lifestyle. And I don't call it a diet. I think it's the wrong word. Diets are dead. And
it's a lifestyle. You're right.
And what is it about having to ask? Would you truly, if you had meat and ribeyes there, and great beef and pork and lamb, and then you had some grass and grains and unripe fruit, which one is it really driving us to eat? Because meat needs so little processing, where everything else needs massive processing. And
it's very simple.
Which is healthier to eat all the time, raw meat or raw plants?
Well, raw meat, I assume. Yeah.
Right. And so we likely evolved.
You eat raw, Melissa?
No, I know you wouldn't make me do that, and I didn't.
We have a question on Instagram, by the way, I would like to ask.
Say that again.
Jamie Easton, 5 months in, I still haven't conquered leg cramps at night. Tried electrolytes, magnesium, and now up my water. Will they ever go away?
Massage, acupuncture. I feel great, and I'm healing. More stretching, yoga. These are where I think you just need to stretch it out. But so this is where more fasting and fatty raw to rare meat comes in, because you're not getting enough fat, and you may be eating protein poisoning is real. And I think most of us focus on protein, which is not right. It's fat. Rare to raw, black and blue. We love raw. I mean, again, where's the recipe how to cook and eat this? Like, what animal is confused? Genghis Khan's men ate raw meat.
And drink horse's blood.
Electrolytes. Blood and milk. I mean, literally, what other animals? Yes, come on, collect my milk. Makes no sense.
I think we did all the questions. We did do all the questions.
There's some comments in there somewhere, right?
There are definitely some comments here.
Yeah.
What's your favorite piece of steak, Melissa?
Sorry, I couldn't say that again. I missed that.
What's your favorite cut of steak, or what's your favorite meat?
Yeah, my favorite is a Scotch fillet. I like rump and porterhouse if I can't have Scotch fillet. I go to the farm here in our local hills, and I know the farmers. I can see the land. I can see the animals. I know how those animals are being brought up. I know that the same people are taking them the whole way through the process. I know that the grass isn't being sprayed. You know, like I eat the best quality meat I can get to, and I'm supporting local. So yeah, Scotch fillet for me, my favorite.
And for those who are not Australian, that's a ribeye steak.
Yes. Well, hold on a minute. From my understanding, the ribeye includes the bone, and if it doesn't have the bone, it's a Scotch fillet.
So
we
it's
still call it ribeye.
Yeah,
Let's
it is.
see.
It's great. And what's your temperature you like it?
Oh, I just fry it on the pan usually. Because I just have to be very quick. Whatever's quick and easy for me. Unfortunately, it's also very hot here at the moment, so I'm not going outside and doing a barbecue. But yeah, I'll just do it on the fry pan with some tallow.
Do you eat it medium rare?
It's usually medium rare. Yeah.
Melissa, you have two boys, right? You have two boys.
I've got a boy and a girl.
A boy and a girl. And how do they eat?
Look, this is an interesting conversation, and it's not as easy as saying you're the mother, you feed them, you buy the food, you feed them. Yes, that's true. I am the mother, I do buy their food. However, my kids are also not with me all the time, so I can't control all the food they're eating. I also don't want to force them to eat anything. I want them to want it themselves. So I try my best to give them low carb, natural, you know, if they have sugar, it's fruit. Do they eat other things? Yeah, they do. I'm not going to lie about that. But I think as they're getting older, they're understanding and asking more questions. And I would prefer to lead by example and get them to make their own mind up. You know, like I had to hit 26 years old and have my ear scream at me to make changes. My kids won't have that happen because they've learned from such a young age what's important, and they're getting to an age where I can explain to them why, you know, and I'm literally just leading by example. My daughter loves steak and eggs in the morning. That would be her choice, you know. So yeah, my son likes a lot of fruit. He just loves it. So it's better for him to have fruit than to have something else, you know. So I'm not going to stop that. I buy organic, and I give them meat, chicken, whenever I can. Yeah.
Inorganic food is like Beyond Meat and fake stuff, because all the other stuff is made by God anyway, and not manipulated by man, which is kind of crazy. But you know, that I think, you know, natural. So it sounds like you get really local, the nature's processed with man's guidance, obviously, because there is some husbandry in all of this, I think, and you know, that's the beauty of it. So you want to get to that question?
I think.
Yeah. Dr. Kiltz, you talked about visceral fat on Jenny Mittich. Would you talk about visceral fat, good or bad?
Well, nothing your body makes is bad by itself. It's manipulated by the environment you live in and the food you consume. And so, I mean, if there's going to be a famine, you better be fat enough for that famine or that hibernation or gestation. And so visceral fat is no different than any other fat, in my opinion. So if someone has significant central obesity or obesity period, it's usually an indication that they were usually a high plant protein, low animal fat eater, and 3 to 6 meals a day, which the food is the cause of damage and disease. I mean, glucose in itself isn't a poison. Nature makes glucose, and we can eat glucose, and the body is fully capable of converting it to fatty acids, VLDL, in the liver, and using it for energy. But it doesn't make any sense. We tell a lot of scary stories like, oh, you're obese, you're sick. Obesity doesn't cause sickness. It's the food that you constantly consume in your gut and placed there, that is the cause of disease. So again, there are indications like an elevated glucose level isn't the cause of disease one time, but the fact that you're consuming a lot of sugar, plants, protein, lean meat, and a ton of food, which causes visceral fat to build up because the body is like, okay, you're eating like you're hyperphagic, getting ready for hibernation, migration, gestation. I mean, many, many, many animals, if they don't get fat, they die on either their migration or their hibernation, or through the winter when they're doing their very best to find food. It's not there. So visceral fat doesn't cause disease. Controversial.
Very.
And sugar is the energy of your body.
So potentially you're causing your own disease by putting stuff in your mouth too much and too often.
Yeah, and the wrong stuff. I mean, a peanut could kill someone rapidly. Heroin, cocaine, marijuana aren't good for us. Neither is a lot of caffeine or things like that, or tobacco, nicotine. And so you're blaming what you are. In essence, that's not the cause of disease. It's like your beautiful car. Your beautiful car was built just right, but you put in the wrong sugars, the wrong fuel. Basically, when we say fuel, we have a oil refinery in our body. It's called the liver. The liver converts the sugars and amino acids to fat, or you die.
Lewis wants to know, does visceral fat damage the liver?
Fat doesn't damage the liver. You might have a fatty liver, but fat is not the cause of the damage. The liver's job is to make fat. And so it's kind of like we look at someone obese and say, oh, you're unhealthy. Well, there are skinny people that die of cancer all the time, and diabetes and all sorts of things, and strokes. So I think maybe science, remember, science wanted you to blame fat for everything, and they claimed glucose is your energy. The scientists that wrote the science are the same scientists today as yesterday that want to make money, be famous, do all the same things, have a mate and build a family, get into trouble. Visceral fat and fat doesn't cause anything damage-wise.
Melissa, where can we find you?
I mostly live on Instagram, so I'm at Melissa BEE.au. I also am on Facebook as Melissa B as well, .au. If anyone's interested in my events here in Australia, it's Carnivore Live at Carnivore Live. And you'll also find a link if anyone is interested in my new online community that I'll be showing up in pretty regularly and bringing people together. That is globalcarnivore.co. There I am. Yeah, that's it. And I like to just, post my experiences, whatever inspires me in the day, I post about.
All righty. Alia.
So let's do the giveaway.
Hit the button.
Buttons hit.
The button's hit. Button it up.
Teach you magic, man, Leo. Yeah, please email me. You know what to do.
Awesome.
In fact, we'll do another one. We'll do one more. We're giving away the Kiltz Health Winter Digest. Let's see. Who else is going to win one? I go for Dr. Kiltz. Linnea 74. Okay, please email me, Alia at Dr. Kiltz, with your address, name, and we will get that sent to you. Congratulations. There you go.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much for having me on.
Sure.
You do have a YouTube channel, but you don't do a lot of
No, I don't. No, look, my focus really is the big event. It's a big thing, bringing together, 9 keynote speakers for next year, September 12th, Adelaide, Australia. It's a big thing to organize an event like that, even though it's once a year. So that's my primary focus, as well as the new online community, and just showing up every day on my Instagram and sharing some kind of knowledge, experience, information with people. Yeah.
Awesome. We so appreciate you, Melissa. You have such sparkle and energy, and keep on your purpose and passion. And we love you. Thank you, everyone, for being here.
Love you too.
Love you all.
Thanks, everybody. Bye.
Thank you. See you next time.